When the sun has set on a Friday night, bringing peace into your home, families will gather all around singing Shabbat Shalom. Everybody sing Shalom, Shalom. Shalom, Shalom. A gift from God, so put a smile upon your face. He's got the whole world in his hands, so obey his commands and you will know peace. Shalom, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Rabbi Karen Bender. I'm so glad to be with you here and to be with my wonderful colleague, Rabbi Ron Goldberg. How are you, Rabbi?
I'm doing well. Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Bender, and Shabbat Shalom, everybody. You know, what a week it's been. We enjoyed the holiday of Tu B'Shvat. We enjoyed eating some really delicious fresh fruit. We observed the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr., an important leader in American civil rights. And of course, last Saturday, we have to remember that a man took hostages at a synagogue in Texas. And I'm grateful that all the hostages were freed and none of them were injured. Each morning when I get up, I say in my morning blessings the prayer, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Blessed are you, God, for freeing the captives. That'll have real meaning for me going forward from here.
Amen. And yes, it was a crazy Shabbat day where we were so worried, but everything did turn out well. Thanks so much to law enforcement and first responders for being there, the FBI. Leaders around the country and the world were making prayers for the rabbi and his congregants that were there, and then everything turned out, thankfully, okay. And everybody feels safe, and we say Shechianu for that as well. There's even a blessing benching Gomel, where I know that Rabbi Charlie from that congregation is certainly saying it today because he was worried and then he was okay, and his congregants were okay. So we're in a celebratory mood, Rabbi Ron.
We are, and there's even a Hebrew song that helps us celebrate coming together as a community. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good, how wonderful is it that we are sitting together today as brothers
and sisters. Please join us. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Gam yachad. Are we ready to light the candles, Rabbi?
We are. It's time to sanctify time and separate Friday afternoon from Shabbat.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 shel Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddashanu b'mitzvotav vetzivanu lehadlik ner vetzivanu lehadlik ner vetzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom Uvorach. We, of course, make Kiddush. I have my brand new Kiddush cup I'm delighted to be using for the first time this evening. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddashanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'avau v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim V'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
I like it. We, of course, make motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. We have this beautiful song called Open Up Our Eyes that we sing to lead us into the Shema. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Yes, we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Or for those who prefer the more traditional melody, let's say together, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Shall we sing V'shamru, Rabbi Ron?
Absolutely.
They say more than the Jewish people have kept Shabbat. Shabbat has kept us as a people. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat la'asot et Shabbat לדורות הברית עולם. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat la'asot et Shabbat לדורות הברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ואותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם.
Wow, so Da, very, very nice. Let's do a little Torah study, shall we?
That sounds great, Rabbi Ron. I love learning Torah with you.
So this week, Parshat Yitro it's a particularly rich parsha. We have the visit of Yitro to Moses, his son-in-law. We have the receiving of the 10 Commandments. But I want to lock into one short phrase that is my particular favorite in all of Torah. You know, Rabbi, you and I talk about language and sharing and expressing an awful lot. And the example I give, Yosemite Valley is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. In fact, I'm hard-pressed to think of a place that I think naturally is more impressive. But I don't have the vocabulary to really, truly convey to anybody how awesome it is. Words come up short. And at Sinai, in the presence of the divine, we read on chapter 20, verse 15, the Hebrew is ha'am ro'im et hakolot. And it's often translated as the people perceived the voices. But we both know that's not the literal translation. The literal translation is the people saw the voices. And what's wrong with that? It doesn't make any sense. How do you see sound? And I find this passage marvelous. The idea that in the presence of the divine, the laws of physics are suspended and people can do what's impossible. They see sound. And I find that just, it gets it, it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, and it explains the awesomeness, the awe-inspiring moment of being in the presence of the divine, that even the laws of physics didn't matter.
I love that teaching, Rabbi Ron. And, you know, as a person who enjoys music so much, sometimes I see music in my imagination. And I think I've shared with you that there used to be a restaurant in New York City, that I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but the theme of the restaurant is what jazz music would look like. And it was so exciting to see how an architect and artists and designers and decorators imaged and then put together couches and tables and even the plates and the decor that tried to capture what music would look like. And I really resonate with what you were just saying. Rabbi Ron and I enjoy, you know, kicking around what's your favorite verse in the Torah portion, and what's your favorite verse? And we have many, of course. But when we were preparing to speak with you all today and celebrate Shabbat with you, I was sharing with Rabbi Ron that I love this Torah portion because I love the relationship between Moses and his father-in-law. And it's, you know, it's rare to find these really special relationships between men or between women in the Torah, because the Torah doesn't get into it. It doesn't go that deep. You know, you have to kind of use your imagination. We know that there's an absolutely magical relationship between a mother-in-law and daughter-in-law in the Bible, not in the Torah, but Ruth and Naomi, for those of you who know the story. But here you have Moses. He's in charge, and he's in charge of basically everything. Mm-hmm. And what happens is there's a endless line of people that are trying to work out their disputes, and they're waiting in line to get the answer from Moses. Imagine Moses is basically the self-appointed or God-appointed only judge in all of the Israelite world with 600,000 people in the desert. And Moses' father-in-law observes this about Moses and says, hey, what are you doing? Why are you doing this alone? People are waiting for answers to their disputes, and you're going to burn out. Why are you not distributing responsibility? And Moses, the very same Moses who, when called to go to the Pharaoh, said to God, I don't speak very well. I don't think I'm qualified, actually says to his father-in-law, I'm actually the only one who can really do this. They want me. They only want me. And his father-in-law has to instruct him. I think it's noteworthy also that Yitro, his father-in-law, after whom the Torah portion is named, is not Jewish. He's not a Jewish man. And he mentors Moses and says, this is not right what you're doing. You should not do it alone. What you should do is you should appoint judges and spread out the responsibility of resolving disputes. And that is what Moses does. And by the way, some people say that this text is the basis for our own criminal justice system today, where there would be judges to work out disputes. So I just find it to be very exciting. Any thoughts, Rabbi Ron, about Yitro?
I totally agree with you on this point of realizing that you can't do it by yourself. Being the ultimate micromanager is a recipe not for success. And I really like that you pointed it out, and I think it's really worth putting a little emphasis on. Wisdom comes from all sources. That his father-in-law was not part of the Jewish people, but he brought wisdom with him, and it was worth listening to. And it was important that Moses saw that he needed to pay attention to it. I think that's also a very important lesson for us.
Thank you for that. And also this idea of thinking you're alone when you're really not. I mean, it's a very wild image to think of Moses as feeling like he was on his own, that there was no one to help him, even though he was at the top, you could say. And I think a lot of us sometimes feel alone. I'm talking about loneliness, but I don't think it's so different, right? And we may feel like we're really alone when really we're not. Maybe we just need to ask for someone to talk to us, ask for someone to be a friend, ask for someone to listen or to help. So it's really exciting to see Moses, who's the great Moses, asking for help and getting it when it was pointed out to him that he did not need to be alone.
Amen.
Amen. All right. We come to the time of our Shabbat celebration where we want to acknowledge those who are in need of healing. We have a lot of people that are in quarantine now who are not actually sick, but maybe their souls are in need of healing because they're being forced to spend time alone. And then we, of course, have people that are in need of healing, that have the flu or the cold or a COVID and really need to get better. So we make a prayer for them. Misha berach avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov imotenu sarv karachal v'leah. Yivarech v'Rapet kol hacholim b'keilah shelanu, the Los Angeles Jewish Home. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, send your blessing of healing to all members of our community that are in need of healing, all of our residents that are in need of healing and their loved ones that are in need of healing, all of our staff that is in need of healing and their loved ones that are in need of healing, all of our rehab patients in need of healing and their loved ones, and all of our volunteers and supporters that are in need of healing and their loved ones, that they should all have a refuah shlema, a complete healing of body and of spirit, along with all those among the people of Israel that are struggling for wholeness. And we say together, Amen.
Amen.
And Rabbi Ron, how about a blessing now for all of our people, Birkat HaKohanim?
Absolutely.
From the two of us to all of you. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May Adonai guard and protect you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May Adonai turn his face to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May Adonai be gracious to you, and most importantly, bless all of us with the blessings of peace.
Amen. And Rabbi Ron, I loved your idea of ending with Oseh Shalom today. Could you say a word, while I reach for my guitar, could you say a word about what it means to you to sing the words of Oseh Shalom?
I like for me, it's this idea, this imagery of, as they say, he who makes peace in the high places makes peace for us, for all Israel. And I think it's important that I like in our modern times, we've even added the line, and all the inhabitants of the world, that it's not just a Jewish communal thing, but we desire peace universally. And I think that's very important.
Yeah, and our Muslims friends, our Arabic-speaking friends say Salam Aleikum, right? And we say Shalom Aleichem. And the word peace is so powerful because the same root, Shalom, also is the root of the word Shlemut, which is wholeness. Mm-hmm. And, wholeness is just kind of feeling unbroken. And we all have a brokenness inside of us, but we yearn for wholeness. Just like the world is broken in some ways, and we yearn for peace. And then we think, what is our role in bringing both Shlemut and Shalom to our own hearts and our own souls as we take a deep breath now to sing about peace and wholeness. Oseh Shalom bimromo, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
When the sun has set on a Friday night, bringing peace into your home, families will gather all around singing Shabbat Shalom. Everybody sing Shalom. 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 Shalom.